In today's video, we're going to pick up where we left off. Last time we talked about the $400 million write-down in Namibia that was made by Shell. And we're going to ask, well, what's going wrong with Namibia? So on the right here, you can see that the headline, this one from Reuters back in January the 9th, it kind of introduced the world to the write-down that had taken place. We'd actually done a video over a year ago, back in early 2023. We looked at the various sources of reserves estimates that had come out back in April 22. 2 billion barrels of oil equivalent, and you can see a variety of sources there, but generally the numbers heading on down, with the Petroleum Commissioner of the Ministry of Mines and Energy in January 24 saying around about 200 million barrels. That's a tenfold decrease. Shell's never said or never made any announcement that we're aware of as to the size of the reserves at Graff, and why should it? We've got the write-down, and it's probably, as we discussed in last video, it's probably got more to do with accountancy procedure, end of year, and basically just keeping the book straight. It doesn't mean that it's the end in that particular area, just that things maybe not going to move ahead quite as quickly as might have been anticipated. Now remember, behind all of our TROVE news is our TROVE databases. This one here covers Southern Africa, that's Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and we've got a huge amount of information in here. We call it TROVE because it's a treasure chest. Stratigraphic columns and breakdowns. You'll find source rocks, about reservoir rocks, about structural evolution, the regional geological setting and plate tectonic setting. You'll find information on every single discovery. And if we go in and click on this button, you'll see it opens up. You can see Brulpadda, Graff, Yonka, Leopard. It's across Namibia. It's from South Africa. And we also have them from other countries in this region. Lots of information. This is all searchable. And then what you can do within there is you can just say click on Graff, and this sheet will open up, and you can see that we've got seismic lines, interpretations from a variety of sources, write-ups, and the latest information, including the write-down information, is in there as well. A new well result here, and that was the well Kapana 1X. This was actually drilled by Chevron through an indirect subsidiary, the TotalEnergies. It's in PEL 90, which is block 2813B. It was announced as a dry hole back in January 2025. Here's Venus to the south and Mopane over to the east. So a great address for this particular play. But this one hasn't worked out. Quotes here from Offshore magazine, the well called Kapana 1X in the PEL 90 block provided valuable information about the basin, and the company anticipated it would explore further in Namibia. Well, I'm sure it will. Lots of other prospects. It's unlikely that anybody's going to get it right first time. We have to understand what the trapping mechanism is, and I'm sure there'll be other wells, and we wish Chevron and partners every success going forward. Venus, yes, it has been delayed. Now, if we recap on Venus, it was discovered back in December 2021. It's in block 2913B, PEL 56, water depth around about 3,000 meters. It was discovered with the Venus 1X well. It's a light 45 API oil in Cretaceous sands. The TD, well, having drilled through 3,000 odd meters of water, there was another 3,000 plus meters of sediment to drill through to actually find the reservoir. Appraisal wells, well, there have been quite a number of those, and it was hoped that the FID would come out in 2024. It's now kind of planned for late 2025 at the earliest, and production capacity formerly put at about 160,000 has now been reduced slightly to 150,000. So that's the processing capacity on board some kind of floating, probably some FPSO type vessel. So it's now going to be the first half of 2026 that the final investment decision will be taken. Tamboti 1X. Now, this is TotalEnergies' latest well. It was announced as being non-commercial. Now, it had targeted a potentially a billion-barrel prospective resource-sized prospect, and it's again in block 29 13B. To the north of Venus and to the south of the Chevron block, TD'd at 6,450 meters. Did find some black oil and probably just shows 85 meters hydrocarbon column height, but low quality upper Cretaceous sands. The DST is under analysis, but the permeability is described as not too good, and this is a theme that we're hearing increasingly for the region. Some of these sands perhaps not got the deliverability that might be hoped for from some of these deep water fan sands. It is ultra deep water, and it was drilled by the deep sea Myra, and there's a picture of the rig just here. So there's the location of Tamboti, just north of Venus and sort of west-southwest of Mopane. So here is a series of creaming curves here. This is from Wood Mackenzie. In red here, this is Namibia, and it's kind of showing at one level that it's not dissimilar to sort of Guyana, where the reserves it's kind of kept on going up through time, mainly through the success in ExxonMobil's Starbrook block, but there have been other contributors in there, like the Corentin block. I have a problem with creaming curves because reserves assessment, resources, they change at various stages through exploration, through appraisal, even through development and late life. We really don't know the ultimate recoverable reserves of a field until it's finished producing, and at various times factors can certainly alter what it should be. But the claim here is that there was a big find, and this is probably down to Venus here, that it's going up by, well, it looks of it, about 4 billion barrels of oil, but there must be some contribution for Graff in there. And Mopane, well, that was not covered in this period of time. So you can see these creaming curves, I'm not a fan. But if you want to find out more, I'm sure it'll be covered in the Namibia Oil and Gas Conference. Now that's being held the 12th to 15th of August 2025, and it's over in Windhoek, Namibia. It might even be along there to give a keynote address. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Here's the wells to watch. This is the high impact wells in 2025. Now this is from Westwood's Wildcat, and you can see they've published this. And on the list they've named Olympi 1X and Sagittarius, which are both in the Orange Basin down here offshore Namibia. There is a comment here: newly opened Orange Basin is expected to see 7 to 10 wells in 2025, and these will be key in determining the ultimate potential of the basin. Key wells for the Orange Basin include Olympi and Sagittarius. Other parts of the world, well, there's some interesting wells. We have them all in our TROVE worldwide database. Another well that has spudded, it's in TotalEnergies block 2913B. It's to the south of Venus. We don't know the exact location, but it's somewhere in the southern end of the block. It's spudded in the first quarter of 2025, and Olympi expected it'll be drilled towards the back end of the year. The deep sea Myra, and it's targeting Albanian sandstones within the Marula fan complex. Just to introduce Sagittarius, this well has now spudded. It spudded on the 19th of December 2024. It's in PEL 85, which is this block just here. You can see PEL 85, and here's the location of the well. It's southeast of Mopane, due south of Kudu, and quite a long way west of Venus and Graff. For Azule Energy, this is their first spud in Namibia. This was the block that was formerly operated by Rhino Resources, and Azule Energy's farmed into that. It's going to be the Noble Venturer drill ship. Here's a picture of the rig that's going to be that is being used rather. Water depth here a lot shallower than Venus out here. It's ultra deep. Here we're just talking about deep water, 1,400 meters water depth. First of two back-to-back wells are going to be drilled in the block. You need to do back-to-back wells because there's economies of scale in not having to mobilize and demobilize a rig back to this location. However, you can't always take the learnings from the first well into the second well, but you would hope that what the operator has targeted here would be two sort of independent plays. So if the first doesn't work, it doesn't necessarily mean the second won't work. And you try and spread your risk by choosing slightly different play types and different trapping mechanisms, etc. But we'll see where the second well is in time. Planned as a 45-day well, so we should be hearing something fairly soon. So watch this space. We'll be reporting on it in a future Trove News video for sure. So an update on Mopane, and this comes from the excellent Geo Expro magazine, a contribution from Ventures. Now, Mopane is operated by Galp, and the discovery, Mopane 1X, was back in January of 2024. The 2X well was also successful back in February. They've conducted DSTs and they've kind of tested and calibrated the AVO, that's the amplitude versus offset, the seismic response. So they're getting their eye in as to what works and what doesn't in the region. There was appraisals, Mopane 1A and Mopane 2A, back in late 2024, and a 3D seismic campaign was started in December of 2024. Now for an update, well, we have Mopane 3X now drilling. It's using the Santorini drill ship, which spudded on the 1st of January 2025, and it's targeting a stacked AVO 10 and 13 play. They've got various names for the various AVOs they see, and they're going to be testing these and calibrating them and see if they're a direct indicator of hydrocarbons. The map here, Kapana, Tamboti, Cheetah 1 and Eel 1, which are further prospects in the block. You can see here's the Mopane 3X over to the east of the accumulation. Here's Sagittarius and another prospect, the Volans 1X, which is probably going to be the follow-up well in the Rhino Resources, or now Azule Energy operated block. So we started out with a question: what's gone wrong for Namibia's oil and gas sector? Well, nothing really. Exploration always has its ups and downs. It's a new basin. There's not that many wells in the Orange Basin, particularly on these deep water trends. It's still a very exciting exploration and appraisal play that's being investigated down here. Venus, well, it's still likely to reach FID, maybe just 6 months later, and some disappointment with some of the offset wells that haven't perhaps found as much as operator TotalEnergies may have hoped, but it's still looking good. So we'll keep following the story as it evolves and keep watching this space. If you want more details and more information on any and all of the wells and fields and discoveries that we discuss in our Trove News videos, then please get a quote from us. It's available. Just send an email to info@firstsom.com, and we have information from every oil field, gas field and discovery worldwide. One sad piece of news was the announcement of the death of the former president of Namibia, Sam Nujoma. He died at the age of 95 very recently. Now, he led the long fight for independence from South Africa in 1990, and he helped was a founder of the SWAPO movement. And after independence, he became the president from 1990 right through to 2005, so very significant individual in the history of Namibia. So what are the next steps? Well, perhaps Namcor would like a feature on our channel. They could come on and tell us what they're up to and how they see things. Why not? Send any news articles, or if you'd like to advertise some of your services in the region, why not send those in to us and we'll feature them on a future YouTube video. We get worldwide coverage. We have thousands and thousands of subscribers, over 6,000 now, and the videos have been watched by well over 500,000 viewers over the years. So do get in touch. info@firstsom.com. So in the world of oil and gas exploration, have you ever wondered why your competitors are doing so well? Well, maybe because they've got Trove. It is a global energy database, and if you want a quote, please call Colin. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting. Please hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hope to see you back on our channel before too long. Bye for now.